back, guys, at Donate Life Indiana. This is our last Lifesavers series episode.
Thank you so much for joining me. This is special guest Ryan Lee, and as he said, this is our last video in the Lifesavers series. We are back at it out of my garage practicing safe social distancing. Now, we have learned so much in the last few weeks. In fact, we're going to review some of that. But our hope at the end of all of this that you share our videos with your friends, families, camp directors, camp counselors, because the more youth that can learn about the human anatomy, the body, how we can help our organs through exercise, by drinking a lot of water, by not putting bad things into our body, but also how organ donation and transplantation can help save lives. So let's do a quick recap. Do you remember any of the organs that we've learned about?
Yes, I do. I remember about the heart, that it helps us pump blood.
Yes, the heart, located here, a little bit to the left, underneath the left lung lobe. We also learned about these organs. Right here we have two of them. They help us to breathe. What are those?
They are our lungs.
Yes, the lungs. And also some of the other life-saving organs. The liver, which has over 500 jobs but helps keep toxins out of our body. The kidneys, we typically have two. Put your hands on your hips, remember, and your thumbs back. That is the area where your kidneys are. But sometimes our kidneys fail or don't function correctly. But a living donor can help donate a kidney to help save somebody's life. And lastly, we talked about the small intestines, that long tube, and the pancreas located underneath the stomach and liver. Both of those help aid in our digestion. Now, we didn't just learn about organs, did we? What else did we learn about?
We learned about tissue.
Yeah, remember one donor can save and heal up to 83 lives? That's 8 lives through organ donation and 75 others through tissue. We learned so many different things about tissue. Now, am I talking about the tissue that you blow your nose with?
No, she is not.
No, I'm not talking about a Kleenex. I'm talking about a group of cells that help us bend, move, be active. Without tissue, we wouldn't be able to do the things we love to do. So, Ryan Lee's going to tell you a little bit about tissue that he knows.
Well, my mom is missing the tissue in her back, which gives her really bad back pain, and it sometimes makes her back go out.
Yeah, he's talking potentially about a slipped disc. And when that tissue between each vertebrae tends to move, what doctors can do is they can transplant bone graft tissue, and they can help heal some of that back pain. Now, another type of tissue that we discussed last week, remember my knee model? Well, what is in the knee? I want you to bend your knee back and forth, review like we did last week. That knee is moving back and forth because of these ligaments and tendons. Tendons connect muscle to bone, and ligaments connect bone to bone. And did you know that I received donor tissue in my left knee from a basketball injury? Doctors were able to replace this ligament with a donor hero's tissue, and I was able to play one more year of college basketball. But now let's get to our final tissue. And the tissue that we're going to talk about today are the corneas. Guess what? We have 2 eyes. And what do our eyes help us to do, Ryan Lee?
They help us to see.
Yeah, they help us to see. And in fact, an adult's eyes are about the size of ping pong balls. I know that sounds pretty big. But that white covering that covers most of the eye, that's the sclera. And the sclera is a really tough tissue. But then also in the eye, we have the color of our eye. Do you know the color of your eye?
Mine are blue.
Mine are blue as well. The color of our eye is called the iris. And then within the iris, we have the pupil. The pupil is that little black dot in the iris. And that little black dot, if it's too bright out, then the iris is going to close a little bit and not let too much light into that pupil. But lastly, let's talk about the cornea. And Ryan Lee has a picture of an eye, and I have my eye model. Because on this eye model, if you can see, there is a thin, transparent lens. It almost looks like a contact lens. That is what helps let light in and allows us to see so many things. I've just told you so many things about the external part of the eye. But guess what? Sometimes people can get a deep infection in the cornea. Sometimes they can get a disease such as keratoconus, and that is where the cornea becomes cone-shaped. And guess what? If it becomes so bad, the cornea becomes blurry, and our vision starts to go, then we might need a corneal transplant from a donor hero. And so that leaves you with your home activity. What do you get to do to join us from home today? Well, I have another special guest with us. We're going to bring out Bryce again. The first thing that I want you to do is you are going to find colorful paper or cardstock within your house. And you are going to need a partner, which is why I needed Bryce. Now remember, they are family. That's why they can do this activity together, and why we're continuing to practice our safe social distancing. So what Bryce is going to do is he's going to stand behind Ryan Lee. So Ryan Lee's going to move forward. And what you're going to do with the paper is you're going to gently move the color of one paper color of your choice slowly in front of the person that is behind you. And you are going to ask them, can you see that color, Ryan Lee?
No.
And then he's going to continue to move it. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so what color is it?
Orange.
It is orange. And then Bryce is going to choose another color, and he's going to do it over again. And then I'm going to explain why this activity is so important. So he's going to slowly move the paper. Can you see it now?
No.
The color? No. Now, using our peripheral vision, we know that there's an object there, but we cannot see the color until Bryce has moved it a little bit more. Can you see it now?
Yes.
What color is it?
Blue.
Exactly. Bryce, thank you so much for joining into our Lifesavers series and for doing that activity. Now at home, you guys could flip spaces and you guys could switch roles and do the activity again. The important thing there is that we typically cannot see color until it gets into the front of our eye, because color comes from our vision on the cone shape or front of our eye, and that's why he was not able to see the colors when it was just on the side. Now we have one more activity that we're going to have you do at home, and so I want you to go and find a pair of sunglasses, and I want you to find some Scotch tape, clear tape. And what you're going to do is you're going to doctor up these sunglasses. You're going to take several pieces of tape, and you're going to keep putting the tape on the outside of these glasses until they are covered. And then you're going to put the glasses on to make sure that they're blurry. So you want to put enough tape over the lenses until they do appear blurry. You are making simulation or pretend fake corneal blindness glasses, because I want you to get the feeling of what it would feel like if you needed a cornea transplant. Now, Ryan Lee and I have our own very special corneal blindness glasses. I also want you to get a pencil and paper from home. We have our dry erase boards. First thing you're going to do on your pencil and paper is you are going to write a sentence of your choice. You can write anything you want. You can write, I love Donate Life, Indiana. You can write, organ donation helps save lives. Whatever you want, write it down. Okay? And then we're going to share that. So there's the first part of the activity. Now, you are going to do the same thing, but guess what? You have to put the corneal blindness condition glasses on, and you are going to have to rewrite it. Now, I don't want you to get too close to your paper, because I actually want you to get the feeling of what it would feel like to need a transplant. So we're both going to do this. We're going to rewrite it with the glasses on. Mine says Donor Heroes Save Lives, so here I go again. And I'm going to take the glasses off. Look at my new writing, and of course it has become a lot more blurry. Does not look good. What about you, Ryan Lee? What does your writing look like?
Mine looks a lot more smaller, and you probably can't see it because I couldn't see really well while having glasses on. And this is what it looks like.
Thank you for sharing that. Can you imagine if you needed a cornea transplant? How would your life change? Would it be a lot harder?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, think about it. Video games would be tougher. Maybe ever being able to drive. doing the things that you love to do could all become pretty difficult. And so, today, guys, we learned about the corneas. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Please download our activity sheets at donatelifeindiana.org. Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.